Hello! Welcome to RWBY Cobalt fan project. Since RWBY Volume 10 has been greenlit, but it will take a while, I figured I'd replay some of the RWBY fan games. Some of them haven't been completed, like this one. That just means we can move on to the ones that have been completed after this. And as for why I'm starting with this game, as opposed to, like, the game based off of, no reason. February 2nd, Saturday. Well, this is it. Beacon Academy, Vale's prestigious combat school. It's definitely just as impressive as Shadow told me. It's definitely crowded, so many students. Well, I should probably get going. I'm sure that the headmaster will want to talk to us. Actually, my friends are here. Gotta go. Bye. What just happened? A wild yang approached you. I should probably get up, but I have no idea whether or not I'm going to get knocked over again. It's probably worth the risk. Hey, you need a hand? Or someone could do that, and I'm pretty sure I know who that someone is. Blaze Atkins. My friend for a year, and my girlfriend for almost all that time. Come on, Cobalt. The ground cannot be in any way comfortable to keep laying down on. Hey, I didn't exactly make the choice to lie down here, you know. I know. Blaze then extends her hand out to me to help me up. I take the offered help gracefully as I get back up onto my feet. So, Beacon, we're going to be studying what is essentially a castle in terms of size and looks. I would have thought that my sister's words about this place being before we left gave that fact away. There's a difference between hearing how big a place is and seeing how big it is for yourself. Point taken. In any case, it should be good to finally get studying and be one step closer to helping people, which should be a lot easier now that you actually have a weapon. Hey, my simplets worked well in the past. For intimidating and fighting auraless bugs, yes. Grim are a different ball game together. I know that. Still, I'm glad that this weapon didn't force me to change fighting style too much. That's very true. It just helps to have something to use in a fight that doesn't drain away something that keeps you from getting hit by the grim. That isn't something I want to see. You care about me, Cobalt Blue. You know I do, Blaze. Kind of comes to me naturally after 11 months of dating you. Now then, should we get going, or whatever it is we're supposed to be headed now? Sounds like a... Oh. Unbelievable! Should we go see what that was all about? And risk getting yelled at by the young woman we don't know? Perhaps you're right. First one to where we need to be wins. Never change, Blaze. Looks like we're in the right place if all the students here are any indication, and I think that's Blaze over there. You finally made it, Slowpoke. Oh, so that's how it is. I'm only a slowpoke because you ran off without warning. Not to mention you didn't tell me that this was a race. That's cheating. Says you. Says me. Looks like somebody's about to say something, and just as I was getting into this banter, I'll keep this brief. So that's him, Professor Ozpin, the headmaster of Beacon Academy, and that's Professor Goodwitch to his left. Thank goodness for hologram messages. See, I don't know if that's supposed to be like some sort of jab or something, or you have traveled here today in search of knowledge, to hone your craft, to acquire new skills, And when you have finished, you plan to dedicate your lives to the protection of people. I look amongst you, and all I see is wasted energy and need of purpose, direction. That's definitely not what I expected him to say. I don't think anyone expected him to say that. Pursuing knowledge will free you of this, but your time at this school will prove that knowledge can only carry you so far. It is up to you to take the first step. You will gather in the ballroom tonight. Your initiation begins. Be ready. You are dismissed. Well, that was definitely something. Not sure what yet, but it was something. He did seem like his mind was elsewhere for me. Yeah. We still got a bit of time before we need to be in the ballroom. Want to explore Beacon? Sure, sounds like a plan. It beats just standing around waiting for something to happen at least. That it does, Cobalt. Now come on. Welcome to the Cobalt tutorial. Beacon Academy will have 7 different locations which you are able to explore and do various activities in. In addition, once you have completed your first day of class, you'll be able to go to Vale City and discover even more areas to explore. Let's go. Pick a place and we'll go explore. Let's get the boring place out of the way first. Good morning, Miss Archer. Hello, Headmaster. Clears that the staff already knows our name, despite the year having only just started. Also, I just realized he always carries around some kind of cup. I wonder if it's tea or coffee he's drinking. Anything I can do for you? Not right now, Headmaster. Blaze and I are just exploring the school. Wanted to check out where my boyfriend and possible teammate will be staying for the next 4 years. That is a commendable idea. The teams have yet to be decided at this time. There is a chance that Mr. Blue won't be on the same one as you. Spoilers. We are. That's why I said possible. Although, I'm still going to try to get him on my team. You shouldn't let that stop you from finding other potential teammates, though. Beacon does have a 4-person team system after all. He's right, Miss Arch. And in any case, one of the most important bonds you make at Beacon is the one with your teammates. All hunters and huntresses remain tied to their teammates in one way or another after graduation. And yet it's somewhat random, Oz. How come Shadow struck out on her own then? Ah, your sister. She got along well with her teammates, but ultimately decided that she wanted to forge her own path for a few years and further hone her skills as a fighter. I believe she still keeps in touch with them, though. She does. Good. If she ever finds herself in a bind, she has people to turn to. Hunters and huntresses are supposed to become paragons of strength, staunch pillars of support for Remnant, able to stand alone against the tides of darkness. But it's only when they come together that they can overcome the greatest adversaries. Doubt that. I guess that goes double for simple students. Precisely. Thanks for the pep talk, Headmaster. Come on, Cobalt, we got a lot more of the school to see. If you need any advice, my door is always open. Thank you, Headmaster. Professor Ozpin may offer tidbits of information from time to time about things that pop up as the year goes on. You may find yourself coming back here more often in the later half of the game. I'm genuinely curious if that will happen because, like, Jade had gave this same tutorial, and I cannot for the love of God remember ever coming to Oz for anything other than like when the plot just brought you. Okay, let's go to the classroom. Here's a classroom. We're going to be spending a lot of time in here. Considering we're both students, that's a safe assumption. Sure enough, Kobold. In case we should try not to miss out on any lessons, otherwise it might something vital in our survival. The consequences could be killer. God damn it, Blaze. Joking aside, we really can't afford to fall behind. No, we cannot, but I'm confident that we'll be able to keep up with our studies. That makes 2 of us. Now, shall we continue to explore? Sounds good to me. Mornings on Monday through Friday are dedicated to class events. Each day will have a different class taught by a different teacher, and both Cobalt and Blaze will meet many of their friends here. Library? Wow, look at all these books. I don't think even Signal had this many. Well, judging by the shelves of books, I say we found the school library. Yeah, looks like it. I can imagine that this will be a spot we spend a decent amount of time in. You think they have some spots more hidden from view for studying? I was sort of thinking of something else. I know that look. Let's not get expelled in the first week. I doubt the teachers or librarian would find it very funny. I wanted to know. Let's go before someone hears us. There's a lot more to see. Yeah, spoiled sport. Throughout the course of the game, you'll be able to purchase books from Vale, many of which you'll be able to read here in the library. Reading through books will unlock certain interactions between characters. This place looks like it's been supplied with everything one could use in a workout. There's even a swimming pool next door. Swimming? Heck yeah. Someone seems a bit too excited about that last part. Think of it this way, Cobalt. If we're sneaky, we can head here late at night and have a two-person pool party. As enjoyable as that might be, we need to be considerate of our classmates. And they wouldn't be fond of us having a two-person pool party here. Boo. Nevertheless, we can still train in here, considering that we're either going to be learning how to fight Grim, as well as Spark and everyone else, we're going to need it. You can say that again. Although, there is one thing I'm curious about. Aren't there TVs down near the weight rack? Apparently, they have the money to go for it. Or someone with a lot of money to spare donated them. Wouldn't it have been better to invest in something else? Like a gym that doesn't look like a modified classroom, perhaps? The TVs may be cheaper to invest in than redesigning the whole room. True, perhaps I'm just nitpicking. Shall we continue with the tour? Sounds good to me. I'm curious to see what else Beacon has to offer. The gym is where you can train some of your more combat-oriented social staff. Like many of the other social staff, they will become vital to triggering certain route events. In addition, you may also meet new friends here as they work to improve their own skills. Looks like we found the dormitories. In other words, beds. Someone's awful cheery about that. You know, I was wondering, like, if you took a shot every time when Blaze is horny for Cobalt, I wonder how far you could get before you passed out drunk or dead. You blame me? There's nothing quite like laying down in a nice, comfy bed and getting some sleep. I guess you have a point there. Besides, beds are primary spots for snuggling with your significant other. But not everyone has a significant other, though. True. But when you put teenagers raging hormones into life or death situations, do you really think no one's going to decide to screw it? Literally? I mean, you say that, but no one in the show tries to get away from implying anything of the sort. Unless you're Genlock, in which case, God damn you. Damn it, Blaze. You might have a point. I don't think absolutely everyone's going to pair off with everyone, though. Fair enough, and if we befriend any students outside of our still hypothetical team, we can come visit them here. Keep that in mind. Let's continue the tour then. The dorms are where all the students of Beacon Academy sleep. You may be able to study with some of them after class, and you may also get the opportunity to spend with Blaze here, too. Mess hall. I think we might have found the mess hall. What gave it away? The smell of food, the sight of students eating, or the extremely long tables that clearly indicate this is a place a lot of students sit down at. Very funny. In any case, it doesn't look like evening's all we can do here. We can earn some money, too. How? Based on the young people working in the kitchens, it looks like students can earn some money by working in the kitchens. So you get paid, and you can even work on your cooking skills. Good to know. But don't forget your scroll. The kitchen staff will need that to add funds to your digital wallet, unless they decide to pay me in lien. I know it says cash, but they don't use cash. They use lien. That's the currency. Touche. Either way, you can use these funds to pay for things like books, dust crystals, and other things. Got it. Now come on, we've still got the rest of the school to explore, you know. You can now access your scroll. Your scroll is how you check your social stats, how much of a route you have completed, any messages you have received, or any items like lien that you have gotten over the course of the game. Lien, the currency of the world of Remnant, can be earned from a number of activities. One of these activities involves going to the mess hall and helping the cooks out during the afternoons. Side note, does anybody else find it super weird that Leanne is super similar sounding to not just one, but like two of the characters in this show? Almost initiation day. If only I was allowed to warn them of the requirements. Perhaps I can think of something while relaxing with a nice steak of... But it's the first day back. How are all the pancakes gone? A nice build-up. This feels like a wasted deviation. Learning where to get some training, it's never wasted time. But we've already been here during the welcoming speech. What else can we do here other than spar with other students? Watch other students fight, for one. Touche. Still, there's plenty of open space here. Seems like an ideal spot for a fight. Speaking of which... Uh-oh. Want to spar? There doesn't look to be like there's going to be anyone around here for a while. Why not, right? Besides, it'll give us an advantage when we end up on the same... If we end up on the same team as each other, then we should get started. No time like the present, right? Wait, what? She must have wanted the opportunity to properly test out her weapons, because she's wasted no time pulling them out and slipping them over her wrist. She's really put a lot of work into her weapons over the past few months. A pair of bracers with black gloves attached, which extend a pair of rods whenever she flicks her wrist to create 2 repeating crossbows. And beside each of her crossbows, shuriken. Painful shuriken. That's redundant. So are you ready? As ready as I'll ever be. Lazarus Storm. My own self-built assault rifle. Since I constructed her back in Signal, I've never had many problems in the fight with her. Okay, let's go. Foreshadowing. Welcome to Cobalt's combat system. This system involves a series of quick-time events you have to play through to beat your opponent. Each choice you make will have a different outcome based on what you do. Some choices will allow you to gain the upper hand against your opponent or your foe, while others will have you step up and make mistakes. You will have to use your best judgment, based on whatever the combat does to determine which move to make, or a combat walkthrough if somebody decides to make it. This is only a spar, so there's no long-term consequences you lose other than humiliation at the hands of players. fight against Grimm or other opponents are more fatal, and a loss will result in you needing to try the fight again. I know what Blaze can do with those weapons, and I do not want her to make the first move. And I make this fight more difficult for me. Surprise! Oh shit! Shurikens, move! The last one had been filled with ice dust. And that one had fire dust. It's definitely a good thing I moved when I did. If the first one got me, my foot would have been frozen in place, which would have left me vulnerable to the second one, and that would have definitely hurt. Uh-oh, she's throwing more. Try to shoot the shuriken before it shoots me. No time to block, no time to dodge. All I can do is shoot it before it hits me. Let's just hope it works. I've been putting into my aim has been paid off. What the heck was that? Aha! Did you like it? I had a few new types of shurikens in my arsenal, like gravity and lightning dust. I thought it might give me a bit of an edge against some of the other students. You're insane. You could have warned me. And where would the fun in that be? She really gave this some thought, but she's right. If we're going to remain competitive at Beacon, we're going to need to adapt. Charger! And she's expecting me to dodge. If she throws it back at me, there's only one thing I can think of doing right now. Blue fire! I got you! Damn it! I've got her now, with her wrist pinned to the wall. She can't escape. Give up? Oh, I don't know. I figured you'd wait until we were back in the dorms before you backed me up against a wall and had you wicked and with your way. Damn it, Blaze. Maybe later. Good to know. Oh, I think you may have given my butt a thorough kicking. Well sparred, Cobalt. Likewise. You didn't exactly make things any easier for me, either. I'd be disappointed with myself if I had. But on the plus side, we do know that we won't be an easy meal for Beowulfs any time soon. That's very true. That doesn't mean we should let up with our training anytime soon, though, because there are tougher enemies other than Beowulfs. Yes. Not just among Grimm. You never know if we'll come across a criminal with unlocked aura. Very true, Kobold. Now then, should we continue on with our tour? Sounds like a plan, Blaze. The amphitheater is where students go to train. In the near future, you'll be able to train up your aura stat, which will, in turn, unlock route events you'll be able to undertake with certain characters. That's pretty much it for now, but if you keep meeting people and doing stuff, you'll probably discover new places on your own. It's almost sundown. Want to do anything before going to the ballroom? I may get a bite to eat from the mess hall. I'll see you in a bit, Cobalt. I've been here for a little while now. Things look like they're beginning to settle down. Well, except for the fact that many of the guys are without shirts or trying to impress the girls, and then there's the guy in the blue onesie. Hey, Cobalt. Hey, Blaze. What's up? Feeling? Are we sure she's not related to Yang? Boo. Oh, I like you don't enjoy them. I'm not going to justify that with a response. You might make more. You love me anyway. That I do. Anyway, I think you might be the only guy on this side of the room. Wait, really? Yes, really. All the other boys are over there. Not sure I care for their testosteroning, though. I'm fairly sure testosteroning isn't an actual word. It should be. They're trying to flirt with any girl looking their way by showing off their muscles without a shirt. You don't sound like you approve. I mean, I kind of don't. I've got a huggable piece of eye candy already in front of me. One who would very much rather the picture without a shirt. God damn it, Blaze. Or any clothes, for that matter. God damn it, Blaze. Looks like somebody blew out the last candle. Yeah. Which means we should probably get to sleep. Do I get to sleep with you, though? In the literal sense of the word, yes. That works for me, too. Good night, Cobalt. Good night, Blaze. February 3rd, Sunday. It's morning, aka the day of initiation, and there's no sign of Blaze. Cobalt! Hi! Dust damn it, Blaze! Don't scare a guy like that! But your reaction was so worth it. Blaze? Fine. So, we've got an hour before initiation. I say that gives us plenty of time to go eat breakfast, get ready for the day. Sorry. And make sure we got everything we need for initiation. And in your case, get out of those pajamas and into those clothes. I only woke up a few minutes ago, Blaze. That's no excuse, lazy butt. Now, go get ready, and I'll see you at initiation. Yes, Mom. Things seem more crowded in here than they were yesterday. Although Blaze and I weren't exactly here at the typical breakfast hour. This is a good opportunity for me to see what the typical pecan breakfast fare consists of. Meat, salads, chicken nuggets, chips, fruits, donuts, various other assorted desserts. No pancakes, though. They must be an extremely popular item this morning. I think I'll have a couple slices of toast and some milk. Can't go wrong with milk. You can if you're somewhat lactose intolerant. I swear, I can drink a little bit of milk and then my stomach hurts. Now to go find a table. Perhaps if I'm lucky, I can go find a seat with Blaze if she's still in the mess hall. Nope. Aw, no cookies. No luck finding Blaze, but I know she's got to be heading at some point. This is where all the weapons are, including Lazarite Storm. And we're going to need them too, because this is the day we've been waiting for. This will be the day we've been waiting for. Sorry. Initiation, the final step in the process of getting into Beacon. No more awkward small talk or getting to know you stuff. Today, I'm going to let my sweetheart do the talking. The heck did that come from? Come on, Ruby. You're not the only one going through initiation. If you want to grow up, you're gonna have to meet new people and learn to work together. You sound like Dad. I think I might be watching two siblings bickering. It was like looking at Shadow and I before she left for Beacon. Okay, first of all, what does meeting new people have to do with fighting? She realizes that teams come in groups of 4 at Beacon, right? And secondly, I don't need people to help me grow up. I drink milk. I'm suddenly a lot more conscientious of exactly what I had exactly for breakfast this morning. Actually, didn't I run into Miss Cute Cape when I was getting my own breakfast? And I'm not the only one who drinks milk. That guy did it, and he's taller than me. Damn it. Hey, look, a new person to meet. We should say hello, Ruth. That did not work out the way I wanted it to. Yellow there, blue boy. How's it dangin'? There's 2 of them. That was a terrible pun. Which one? Oh, come on. It was classic. I almost died from pure cringe. So would you say it was a killer joke? Seriously, get off the stage. Fine, spoil sport. I'm Yang Shalong and my sister. I'm Ruby. Nice to meet you, Ruby. And Yang, wait a minute. You ran past me yesterday, Yang. You knocked me to the ground. Oh, sorry about that, Blue Boy. Was that when we first got to Beacon? She ran past you because she was ditching me. And you met John and Blake after I did, though. That's a plus. Still wasn't nice. Anyway, I still haven't introduced myself to you. I'm Cobalt Blue. Hello, Cobalt. Nice to meet you. Likewise, Ruby. Cobalt, as in the shade of blue? Huh, you're a literal blue boy, Blue Boy. You're lucky I don't have any flammable food. I know. I think that worked better in the older versions because, like, because he referenced, if you make another pun, I am going to throw food at you. And then he has that comment, but they still have that comment in. It's funny. Would all first-year students please report to Beacon Cliff for initiation? Again, all first-year students report to Beacon Cliff immediately. Well, I guess it's time. Let's go kick some Gren butt. Banzai! So this is it, the moment we've been waiting for. So, Kobold, you ready for this? I am. Are you? Yep. Here's basically being on the same team for the next 4 years. Much as I want that to happen, it might not. We don't know how the teams are formed for one. I'll find a way. This is the Emerald Forest. For years, you have trained the Hunt Warrior. And today, your abilities will be evaluated in said forest. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard rumors about the assignment of teams. Well, allow us to put an end to your confusion. Each of you will be given teammates. Today. Well, at least they're quick about it. These teammates will be with you for the rest of your time at Beacon, so it is in your best interest to be paired with someone with whom you can work well. In my case, that's you, Popo. That being said, the first person you make eye contact with after landing will be your partner for the next 4 years. What? Still workable. Place seems determined, Ruby said, and did she say after landing? I've got a bad feeling about it. After you partnered up, make your way to the northern end of the forest. You will meet opposition along the way. Do not hesitate to destroy everything in your power. You will die. Correct. You will be monitored and graded through the duration of the initiation, but our instructors will not intervene. You will find an abandoned temple at the end of the path, containing several relics. Each pair must choose one and return to the top of the cliff. Regard that item as well as your standing and grade you appropriately. Are there any questions? I have several, but only one that defeats swearing. What do the hell relics look like, Headmaster? You'll find out when you get down to the temple, Mr. Blue. Are there any other questions? Yes, sir? Good. Now take your positions. Wow, answer my question, but not tall, broad, and scraggly. I call bias. Sir, I've got a question. So this landing strategy thing, what is it? You're like dropping us off or something? Can he seriously not see and hear what's happening to his left? No, please hold him. Oh, see. So like, did you hand out air sheets for us? Buddy, look to your left. No, you will be using your own landing strategy. Yeah. For it? So what exactly is the landing strategy? Well, see you down there, Cobalt, or Blaze. Why? I'm coming with you after all. Wait, what? Gosh damn it, Blaze! That was an unorthodox method, to say the least. If those two manage to pass initiation, they'll be on the same team, Glenda. There actually isn't a rule that says they can't do that. I just like to point out that most rules are formed because somebody has done it before, because there's a precedent for them. So you can guarantee Oz and Glenda put a rule after this with saying you cannot not do this because we don't want to. That being said, I believe some punishment will be in order for them. I'll determine exactly what that entails by the time when they get back. Blaze jumped onto my platform at the last second and held on to me as we both went flying toward the forest. And we're still flying! I sincerely hope you have a good landing strategy in mind here, Blaze. Relax, Cobalt. I'm going to try to use those trees to break our fall. Does that plan take into account that you're holding on to me? I factor that in, and well, this is going to suck. Ow. Ah. Ugh. Watch the chest. Help. Owie. Worst landing strategy ever of all time. That was the worst throw ever of all time. Just damn it, Blaze. Look on the bright side, Cobalt. At least we're on the same team now. Blaze doesn't look at all shaken up from our fall. I guess she can thank her aura for that. She is offering me a hand to stand up, though, so I should probably take it. Okay, we're both taking a fall that would have most likely seriously injured us had it not been for our aura. When you put it like that, yes. Please don't do that again. Okay. Damn it, now I've made her upset. Don't get me wrong, though. I'm glad that my girlfriend was able to become my teammate and partner, but I didn't want it to come with the high risk of punishment from the staff, or worse, falling into a Beowulf pack. Oh, that's a relief. But we're most likely further from our target than what we probably could have been, which means we have a lot further to walk, and probably more grim to fight. Yeah, that's true, but hey, we're not exactly rookies in regards to combat. We can fight and watch each other's backs. True. We should probably be cautious, though. Our auras would have taken a sizable dent from our landing. Then perhaps you should lead the way. You're less impulsive than me, so we both know you won't rush into things like I just did. Impulsivity is not necessarily a bad thing. You're still leading the way. Fine. We've been walking for a good while now. No sign that we're getting close to this temple. Hurrah! Hurrah! And then there's someone making these odd noises in the forest. All I know is that it's not me or Blaze making them. How far do you think we've walked? I don't know. I reckon it's about half a kilometer by now. That's the weird thing. It always feels like a longer distance you've walked than how long it actually is. Feels like it, yeah. You would have thought that but there would have been at least one person or Grim that would have run into by now. What in the... Cobalt, don't say things like that, or we'll get jinxed. Damn it, Blaze. Don't surprise me like that by breaking the fourth wall. But still, this is a forest full of deadly Grim. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Even if it's highly unlikely that there's a Grim waiting in the bushes to lunge out whenever someone says something about not running into any Grim. But still, if it makes Blaze less nervous, fine, no more talking about running into Grim. Well, at least we now know that there or others nearby. That gunshot sounded close. Close enough for whoever fired said shot to be within walking distance. Couldn't hurt to see if we could tag along with them for safety in numbers and all that. Sounds like a plan, Cobalt. It didn't take us long to reach that person, even though it would have been more accurately to say people, as in more than one. That guy is tall, like 7 feet tall at the very least. And the girl he's with is probably his partner, and definitely the most armored up of all the four of us. Hello there. Hello. I'm Lilac Silver, and this is my new partner, Till Brimstone. And I'm Blaze Archin, and this is my own partner, Cobalt Blue. Hello again. It's nice to meet you two as well, although I have a question for Blaze. What were you thinking? What did I... You know full well what you did. You broke one of the rules of initiation, put both yourself and Cobalt at risk of expulsion or death just so you could get him as a partner and teammate. How did you even... I heard you yelling out her name and turned to see her clinging onto you when you were still in the air. And I hope you realize how recklessly impulsive and stupid that decision was, Blaze. And how is it that this is your responsibility to yell at her? Like, I get what he's saying, but he just kind of crosses kind of a simp at this moment. Excuse me? You heard me. This doesn't affect you in any way. So far, I'm the one who she went to these lengths for, and I've forgiven her. So you've got no reason to be yelling at her. Especially in the middle of a forest full of deadly grim, which will have picked up on our bursts of negativity by now. Under those circumstances, I think you owe Blaze an apology. See, that's what I think is the most insane thing. Apologize for making sure she realizes the stupidity of her actions. If she wants to get herself expelled or killed, then that's fine, but she shouldn't be dragging you into the mess as well. She did so because I'm her boyfriend of 11 months. If anyone's got the right to be mad at her for putting me at risk, then it's me. And trust me, while I'm very concerned for her future at Beacon, I'm definitely not mad about it. You've only just met her, though. So again, what exactly do you have the right to yell at her? None. So if you don't mind, I'd appreciate it if you apologize for yelling at my girlfriend for something that wasn't your business. I'm with you, Lilac. Fine. I'm sorry for yelling at you, Blaze. I just was taken aback by your unorthodox approach to initiation. I struck my nose into something that wasn't my business. I think I can forgive you for that, Lilac. Beowulfs. Close. Oh, we're stuck out in the middle of a clearing that's ripe for an ambush. The Grim could come at us from all sides. What do you suggest? We all stand back to back and make sure the Grim don't try to flank us? Sounds like a plan, Cobalt. Blaze brings her fireballs out into play while Lilac and Teal are bringing out their own weapons. Lilac seems to be carrying what looks like a sniper spear, while Teal has a hammer. Oh wait, that hammer just turned into a triple-barrel break-action shotgun? This guy has an awesome weapon. Alright, the ground. Time to focus on kicking butt. Call the pack. They're almost down. Let's finish them off. And that's how we do it. I'll admit that we performed pretty well together, even if we've only just met. Agreed. It's not quite over yet. We still need to get to the ruins and grab our relics before heading back to Beacon. He's right. Guess we're heading over to the ruins then. Where else would we go? Into a cave? The unintentional shot fired. Point taken. Come on then, team. Let's go already. I think this is it. I'm pretty sure we all fought that, Cobalt. Play nice, too. Anyway, let's go and get our relics and head back to Beacon. Sounds good to me. Chess pieces? Really? I wasn't expecting those to be the relics. No one was. In any case, we should pick one and head back. Dibs on the bishop. I don't think you can call dibs on a chess piece, especially when we appear to have been the first ones here. Chess pieces? Please? Fine. Got it. Okay then, we should head back to Beacon and hope we don't run into any more Grim along the way. Agreed. Well, we made it out of the forest. And since we've all partnered up and got a relic each, I think it's safe to say that we passed. Indeed, but not without consequence. Miss Auction, while your actions at the start of the initiation weren't against any school rules, I want to make it clear that they did risk both your life and that of your boyfriend. Those platforms are not designed to launch two people at once, and your actions not only broke that platform, but also drastically altered the distance in which you were sent flying off. A huntress shouldn't risk the lives of herself or her teammates due to personal gain, Miss Archon. That being said, you still managed to complete the objectives with relative ease, despite your recklessness. It is with that in mind it has been decided that you will be confined to Beacon for 1 month. You will be unable to go to Vale during that time, and any attempt to do so will result in detention, or worse. Understood, Headmaster. Students will be gathering in the amphitheater once initiation is over. Feel free to make your way there at any time. You okay there, Blaze? I'm not sure. Hey, well, he does have a point about you not putting our lives at unnecessary risk like you did. We both survived it, okay? And just because you screwed up today doesn't mean I don't love you any less. I love you too, Cobalt. Now then, we should get to the amphitheater and put this mess behind us. Lead the way, Cobalt. So we survived initiation. Granted, there were a few ups and downs on the journey, but we made it out okay. So we're going to be on a team together for the next 4 years. Don't forget partners, thanks to you. Don't act like you think that's a bad thing, Cobalt. Seriously though, I'm glad you're on my team, Cobalt. And not just because you're my boyfriend. Oi, personal bias! And then there's your skills in a fight. Your training at Signal definitely helped you there. It would also help if he had something on his rifle that's useful in close quarters. Even a bayonet is more useful than just the butt of his weapon. Who even uses a bayonet these days? I can name at least one person who does. what, like a history buff? That's the description for her. So's a zealot. I want to say we meet her later, the character she's referring to later, but I don't remember. All of you standing here at this moment will have managed to pass the last test required to become hunters and huntresses in training. Even if some of you have resorted to methods I wanted to prove of during the initiation. No comments. You will now spend the next 4 years with your team, learning the valuable skills necessary to keep our world safe and at peace. You will be expected to work hard during this time and face any hardships you may encounter with a head held high. But I have every confidence that you will succeed and go on to achieve many great things in your future. But until then, Mina Sang Johong, Autumn Pendragon, Garland Essie, Irina Palatina. The four of you retrieve the Black Rook piece. From this day forward, you will be working together as Team Magnet, led by Mina John, Cobalt Blue, Blaze Archer, Lilac Silk, Teal Brimstone. The four of you retrieve the White Bishop pieces. Didn't somebody actually retrieve the White Bishop pieces in canon, or did we just not hear the entirety of that? Because, like, I swear I heard her during that episode, like, you retrieve the White Bishop pieces, or the White something. From this day forward, you will work together as Team Cobalt, led by Cobalt Blue. Wait, what? Dibs on second in command. It doesn't work like that, Blaze. This is going to be my team for the next few years. We're clearly off to a good start. So this is it. Our dorm room for the next 4 years. I feel like there's something missing from this room. I look around the room, finding it's nicely furnished with 4 single beds, and I guess that's standard team size at Beacon Academy. Granted, it would do with some individual customization, or on at least some level, but I'm not sure what Blaze means, such as, for one, I need to push our 2 beds together. Is that even allowed? Only one way to find out. Thanks for the support, Teal. Now then, team, I could use some help here. I think it's more unrealistic that Lilac helps during all this. Because, like she's very realistic. But, like, nothing. We walk toward one of the beds, specifically one parallel to another on this opposite side of the room, which means the one on this side of the room is going to be mine, I guess. And now my bed is king size, or more specifically, our bed. Why did we do that again? So I can share more bed space with Cobalt. Please don't do anything explicit while me and Teal are in the room. It goes without saying. Fine. Okay, so since we've completed the tutorial, and we're now on the first day proper, I think I'm going to call it a part there. After this introduction. So, I'll see you guys next time.